Morning. So just starting off with a nice gentle warm-up. Wednesday mornings class have a different feel to them than the Tuesday and Thursday exercise classes. This is more about relaxation. This is more about slowly building our energy up. Take it easy, nice and gentle. No need to hurry. Allow a gentle smile to play across your face, across your lips. There's something quite important about that. There's a lovely connection that flows between the heart and the kidneys. Part of the heart channel, or associated channel really, flows around the mouth and lips, up to the forehead. And so when we smile, we activate part of that channel. If you have a constantly furrowed eyebrow, where one eyebrow is squeezing against the other eyebrow with that sort of great big dent in the middle, then you're locking off a point there that's called Shengun. Essentially, we have our yin tang point, which we know more about, sits at the third eye, kind of above the bridge of the nose and between the eyebrows. But just below it, I think the measurement is half a shun in acupuncture, a tiny little space, really, half a finger's width below, half a little finger's width below the yin tang point is Shengun. And that's part of this channel, part of the heart system, let's say. So if you're constantly furrowing your brow, you're kind of stopping the flow of energy at this really vital point. So Teacher Ling always has this lovely little story she tells. She says, imagine that your two eyebrows are like little furry caterpillars. Then imagine that each of the caterpillars is walking away from each other, walking away from the center towards your ears. And you feel that kind of idea of softening and opening the brow as you let that image work. So allow the center of your brow to open and soften. And gently smile. Allow your heart to open. And try and remind yourself to smile today as you go through life. We often present with a frown, but what we really should be doing is trying to keep our faces open, no scowl, nice smile. Because that also releases endorphins around the body. It just makes us feel better. Try to encourage yourself to smile today. Okay, so let's take the slow bit next. So just make this exercise slower, but longer. So we just try and open up our spine a little bit more. You can use the Head, look back over the shoulders. So we just change the tempo, go a bit slower, and really open up the neck. Okay, and then we can allow the whole body to gently, slowly drift to a stop. Sometimes you'll feel some little internal movement. Just allow that to stop as well. And then gather, lift chi. Pour chi. Gathering from the earth. Drawing the chi down. Move it from the top of the head, deep into the center of your chest, down into your belly. Let the chi flow on down your legs, deep into the ground. And again. Pouring chi through. Deep into the belly. And connecting into the earth. Normally 3 is about enough, but if you need to keep going, do so. Otherwise, we can do some simple forward bends. Let's just gather the hands up a little bit. Stretch up. And then tip over. So we tip over the head, the arms, the ears. Let the back gently roll over. Soften the knees and relax down. Body sinks and relaxes. Head hangs naturally. Just allow the body to relax there. We're just releasing the lower back, softening the lower back. This is where our kidneys live, so at this time of year, it's very good to allow the stretch to open. Okay, so we can extend softly down towards our toes. And release. In line with the roots of our toes. And release. Toward the insteps. And release. And then back towards the heels, a nice deep bend. And release. Body hangs and relaxes. Tailbone lifts up behind. Tailbone pushes to the front. Spine gently rolls up. Head, arms, and ears gently roll up. Draw the whole body up to full height and stretch. Just gently release the knees and the hips. Let the body lean backwards. Up and gently back. Up and gently back. Up and gently back. Hands up into the blue sky. Let the left hand drift down. Allow the right hand side of the body to gently open. Let the right hand drift down. The left of the body opens up. Down the left. And down on the right. Good. Stretch up into the blue sky. Let's drift through that again. So this is a really good exercise for kidneys, by the way. Kidneys, obviously, this time of year, winter time. Stretch up, arc over the arms, and then work into the upper back, middle back. And of course, kidneys live in the lower back. So as we stretch down here, we'll let the kidneys open, really. Stretch the kidneys open in the lower back area. Just let the body hang gently. A little variant on this exercise is just to
hold one elbow with the other elbow and just allow yourself to hang here for a few moments. Just holding the elbows, tucking the tummy, letting the body hang. Let the lower back gently open, gently soften. Sometimes you might find that your legs wobble a bit, that you shake in this posture. And that's an indication that there's not enough qi flowing in your legs, or it's not flowing well enough. And so sometimes if the legs shake, that's fine. It's the qi kind of shuddering through, slowly opening the channels. That's great. The more we open the channels, the better the qi flows. And just to point out, the kidney channel flows in the leg. So it'd be very good for the kidneys to open these channels up. Okay, let the hands hang down. Gently soften towards your toes. And release in line with the roots of toes. Release toward the insteps. And release. And then back towards the heels, nice deep bend. Body relaxes and hangs. Tailbone lifts up behind. Tailbone pushes to the front. Spine gently rolls up. Head, arms, and ears gently roll up. Stretch up into the blue sky. Knees and hips drift forward as you lean back. Stretching it up and gently back. Up and gently back. Up and gently back. Great. Hands up into the blue sky. Let's do the left hand side down. I'll open up the right. Right hand side goes down. Open up the left. Down on the left. And down on the right. Good, allow the hands to come up above. So we're going to try and do the next ones with straight legs if possible. So stretch up, head, arms and ears tip over, gently roll down the back. Lower yourself down to find a relaxed position and then let the body hang there for a moment. Again, you could easily grip one elbow with the other elbow and just hang here for a moment. So now we've got the legs straight. We're putting a little bit more strain on the hamstrings. Excuse me. And then you might find that the legs shake a little bit more in this posture. But again, if they are shaking, that's a very, very good thing. It shows that the leg is gently opening. The qi channels are beginning to flow. So it's a good indicator for you if you find your legs are shaky, that's part of the blockage. And you can let them just open by doing this exercise a little bit more. Okay, so release the hands down. The hands hang towards your toes. Extend gently toward the toes. And release. In line with the roots of our toes. And release. Working towards the insteps. And release. Working towards the heels. Good. Just let the body relax and hang. Tailbone lifts up behind. Tailbone pushes to the front. Spine gently rolls up. Head, arms, and ears gently roll up. Stretch up into the blue sky. Knees and hips drift forward as you lean back. Stretching up and gently back. Up and back. Up and back. Hands go up into the blue sky. And curl the left hand down. Down on the right side. On the left. And on the right. Draw the hands up into the blue sky. Okay, last time through then. Head, arms and ears tip over. Upper back, middle back, lower back. Let the body hang, let the back of the neck relax. Keep the legs as straight as you can. Softly extend towards the toes. And release. in line with the roots of our toes, and release. Working towards the insteps, and release. Working towards the heels. Body relaxes and hangs. Tailbone gently lifts up behind, tailbone swings to the front, body curls up. Head, arms, and ears gently curl up. Stretch up into the blue sky. Knees and hips release forward as you lean back. Stretching up and gently back. Up and back. Up and back. Hands into the blue sky. Left hand curls down. Right side of the body opens. Right hand curls down and the left opens. On the left. On the right. Draw the hands up above and just let the chi pour. Allow the chi to pour through our bodies. Release the hands gently. Let's gather chi a few times. Move the chi deep inside. Gather energy. Gather. Gently pour the chi down through the body. Move the energy deep inside. Center and calm right in the depths of the belly. And then one last time, we can just gather and bring the hands onto the belly. Allow the chi just to gather deep inside lower dantian. So I just want to use an image before we start our standing meditation. Just the idea of a healing session, of you standing behind someone, sending chi to them. This would be a very sort of standard way of people to give healing to other people. Sometimes the hands on the shoulders, gently flowing chi into the body. So we're going to heal ourselves in exactly the same way. It doesn't particularly matter if you choose during this session to sit whilst doing the exercises. Then you could also just imagine someone sitting cross-legged in front of you. So if you choose a sitting posture, also, if you sit, you can imagine yourself standing behind. So we're talking about healing ourselves here using this image. So this idea that if indeed you're sitting, you can still imagine yourself standing behind with the hands over in that posture that I showed you. So it doesn't really matter where you are, because what we're talking about is kind of imagining this setup as we stand in our healing meditation. So you can be sitting, imagine yourself standing behind doing the healing, or you could be standing and imagine yourself sitting on the chair doing the healing, or you could be sitting on the chair and imagine yourself on the ground doing the healing. Whatever. It's your imagination, so it doesn't really matter where you are. Okay, so with our hands on our bellies, we're just going to start off our standing practice. So having sort of broken the rhythm there slightly, let's just go through our standing posture just to check everything. So in a more kind of precise way, we're looking for this idea of shoulder width.
So shoulder width is really wider than your hips, essentially. Just allow your stance to be wide and supportive. Find something that works for you. It would be ideal if our feet could be parallel, or maybe the heels just slightly flared out. But again, you have to find something that works for you on a consistent basis, something that you can sustain. So find the posture that works best for you, and don't be afraid to move your feet if you need to. The knees always bend. So when we lock a joint, we stop the flow of energy going through it so easily. When we unlock the joint, the chi flows very easily through that joint. And so we often have these kind of rounded postures. And it's the same with the knee, it's gently unlocked. But of course, as I always mention, when you unlock the knee, it shifts the weight gently to the front of the foot. And that really, really emphasizes the attachment of Yongquan, the kidney point, into the earth and the earth flow of chi moving up. So we just let our knees sink, we let our tailbone tuck forward. We bring the spine nice and straight. We tuck our chin slightly backwards, back towards the spine, not tuck the chin in to stare at the ground. So move the chin slightly back, move the tailbone slightly forward, sit down once more. Nice long straight spine, Bai Hui, top of the head, pushing gently up into the blue sky. So with all of these ideas, you then have to find what works for you as a standing meditation posture. It is like sitting on a chi chair. The idea is, if you imagine a kind of ladder back dinner chair, not dissimilar to the one I was just using, you think about that straight back. You think about sitting yourself down into the chair, nice straight back. What about the shoulders and chest? Sometimes I find that just by lifting the center of my chest up a little bit, it helps the posture of my shoulders. It's rare that people have their chest sticking out so much that their shoulders are way back, but it's much more common that people have their shoulders rolled forward, especially in this age of driving and computers. So we perhaps just try and alleviate that by lifting the center of the chest a tiny bit. So we find our way into this standing posture. And now it's about settling the mind as well. So perhaps you've already had a busy morning, lots of things to do. Perhaps your mind is already buzzing about things that need to be done after class. What you really need to do is to be here in the moment. I had this beautiful image when I was meditating on Lower Dantian. I was thinking about Lower Dantian, and I was imagining the passage of time, all of the things out in front of us, traveling towards us, and coming in a vast kind of funnel shape, funneling down into Lower Dantian and into the very core of you. And the very core of you was the present moment. And then this marvelous sort of funnel of energy would come back out and spread out behind. And so the whole of the universe was kind of channeling its way into Lower Dantian, present in the center of us, and the past flowing out behind us, that we were some sort of hourglass, that we were some sort of time machine of some sort, that, time was happening to us, which it is really. And so this is why we sort of bring all of our attention deep into the center of Lower Dantian. It's about being in this absolute present moment. I think the present moment exists in Lower Dantian. Bring yourself into Lower Dantian to find that present moment. And just stay with it. So we try and stop the mind from flitting away, gently pulling it back when we find it's gone traveling. As a thought comes up, we gently push it to one side. We allow ourselves this quiet moment I always laugh when I think about lovely old guru who I interviewed a while ago, and he said, all of your life, you practice being angry. You practice being stressed. You practice hurry. He said, you could get a degree in that. You practice it so much. I thought, yeah. And he said, why don't you just try and practice a little bit of calm, a little bit of quiet? You think, what a nice idea. Yeah, exactly right. So here we find ourselves just gently practicing stillness for a little while. It becomes a lovely antidote to the rest of modern life. So just practice being still. Take the time. Nothing much to do here today. Just find the right standing posture. And in so doing, we trigger the flows of qi in the body. We have this amazing artifice in our minds that suggests that we are separate to everything around us. It's the left logical side of the brain that says, well, of course we're separate. We can see everything around us. I'm not the table. I'm not the chairs. I'm not the floor. I've got to be separate. And so this logical story keeps bubbling on. But when we settle ourselves and calm ourselves, slowly that logical voice can start to quieten. It doesn't need to be making its usual commentary on life. You can let it rest. Move away from it. Allow it not to be constantly in your head. And that's fine. You can just imagine stepping away from the commentator, moving away and letting the voice grow quiet. And when we move into this quiet space, we gently merge back into all there is. The reality of it is that the more we look into our bodies, the more we look into something solid like a bone, the more we find the bone is made up of cellular structures, lots of space in between them. The more we look at the cells, we find that there's not much inside those. The more we look at the DNA, we find there's space inside those. The more we look at the atoms, the nuclei, and so it goes. And we discover that we are nothing but space, vast quantities of space. We feel so incredibly solid, but actually the reality is that you are also just a collection of molecules swimming around in a collection of molecules. Just allow yourself to dissolve back into the chi field. No need to be separate. No need to allow that commentary to run. Just push the ego mind away. Let's just settle here and feel ourselves at one with everything around us. Here we can gather chi from nature with great ease. Our standing posture facilitates this huge flow of energy through the body. But also by relaxing the mind, we start to merge back into the chi field. And so it's no longer just a simple process of chi flowing up from the earth, chi flowing down from the heavens. We're now melting into the whole of the chi field. So in the older systems, we imagine this idea of chi flowing up from the earth and chi pouring down from the heavens. But in the more modern Zheneng Qigong, we also take into account the fact that everything is chi. We let ourselves dissolve gently into the chi field around us. So just allow your hands to hang down by your sides. Let's start with the more ancient systems. Feel your feet. Connect to the earth below. Allow the energy of the earth to flow up into your belly. In the palms of your hands, up the center of your arms to your shoulders, down into the core of your chest and into your belly. Allow nature chi to flow up the arms and pour down inside. From the heavens above, chi pours down through Bai Hui, upper dantian, middle dantian, deep into your belly. So these very simple flows of chi, we can imagine gathering chi, filling our body. But if we take it the next step further and use the image of blue sky that Dr. Pang loves so much, imagine how it feels to dissolve every single part of your body into blue sky. Let's work through that in a logical way. Let's start with the head. Just imagine your head dissolves into the blue sky. Just imagine your neck and your shoulders, down your arms, dissolving into blue sky. Just imagine the whole of your chest all the way down to your belly. Also, don't forget the back. We often miss out the back. Imagine the whole of your back dissolving all the way down to your hips, dissolving into your hips and tailbone, pelvis, to your thighs, knees, calves, ankles, feet. Just allow your body to dissolve into blue sky. So just imagine blue sky out in front of you, blue sky behind you, blue sky to your left and right, blue sky below and above. And you have dissolved into this blue sky. Whole of the body softened, open, dissolved. Is there any part of you that hasn't dissolved? You could just look at that with your inner seeing, with your inner eyes, and perhaps just wonder why, and send chi there and let it dissolve. This is why I sometimes think about the back, because I think to myself, I'm very good at dissolving the front of my body because it's so present and I can sort of see it. But I forget about the back of the body. So sometimes I have to think to myself, oh yeah, I could dissolve the whole back surface of my body further. And allow myself to become at one with the blue sky. What about emotional you? Are there still things there, held in the, I wanted to reach for a phrase, hurt locker. It's a film, wasn't it? A locker filled with hurt. I like the idea, open it, let that out. Is there some, in Portuguese they say cofrinho, little box, a sort of savings box. Something inside you that holds old stories, old pain, old memories. I just encountered the philosopher Alan Watts recently saying, he had a lovely phrase. He said, if we want to have special memories, we need to have forgetteries. I thought that was beautiful. Forgetteries, the opposite of memories. We need to be able to let go and release the things we no longer need. We need to forget and not hold on to the old stories that have bent and twisted us. We need to find a way to release these from our body. Perhaps it's just as simple in this dissolved state as my suggestion, opening a box and letting them flow out. Sometimes we feel like the heart is a receptacle for such pain. Imagine that your heart has got great doors on the front, like a huge abbey or a castle, and allow them to finally open. Open the doors of your heart. Now, anything held deep in there can be released. Let go. Sometimes in medical qigong, we used to use this image of opening the doors and a sort of cloud of gas escaping, grey smoke billowing out or hissing out with a shh, like you've taken a valve and opened it. See how it feels to you when you open the doors of your heart. Perhaps you need to see an image of something escaping, shh, hissing as it escapes. Allow it to go. Sometimes I actually find my hands moving in front of my heart, as if I could unpack things from it. Moving out and letting go. Moving out and letting go. Perhaps you could develop something yourself. Something that cleans your heart from inside. Something that releases the trauma and pain. Where are the memories held in your body? There's some suggestion that memories get held in muscles. The sartorius muscle in our legs. I've got the name of the one in the arms, but there's also one in the arms. And that's one of the beauties of doing qigong, is that if there are any physical ramifications left in our bodies, that just by stretching and bending, we can release them without even having to know what they are. So your daily qigong practice helps to get rid of those things. But perhaps now we're in a deeper, more comfortable state, we can think about letting go from anywhere else that's needed in the body. Anything else that might be holding back. So of course, the brain. The brain is seen in the West as being the place where we hold all of these memories. That's a very Western idea. The Chinese idea, memories are held in your spleen, memories are held in your liver, memories are held in your heart. It's distributed all over the body. Hence the idea we might hold memories in our muscles as well. So wherever you feel there may be a blockage, perhaps it's an old story blocking the way. Should we just agree to let that go now? You can give yourself permission. We kept these stories for a reason. They protected us or served us in some way in the past. Now we're inviting a new way of being into our lives. So why not get rid of the old? Just let it go. And create some space for new possibility. So these days we have such a desire to fill every moment with action, with noise. Because we fear finding out who we truly are. We fear that if we actually stop doing, that we'll die, or at least die an emotional death, become sad and become, depressed or whatever. So we do and keep doing just to keep ourselves from experiencing the truth. But now we've brought ourselves to this place. Let's stop doing. Let's start being. You have to balance out the doing with the just being. Same lovely author, whose name has just escaped me. He said to me, I like to call it do-be-do-be-do. Do some, be some, do some, be some. He always tries to balance out the being with the doing. Allow yourself just to be. Allow yourself more space and time just to be. Here in the present moment in Lower Dantian, with the whole body dissolved in the chi field. Everything is right. Nothing is wrong. All functions of your body flowing and open. All impediments and blockages removed. You, open, open, open. So now we're just going to take the image that I was working with earlier. If you're standing, just imagine a chair in front of you. If you're sitting, a space in front of you. And all we're going to do is imagine that we can move back from our bodies. So shift a couple of feet back from your body, perhaps a couple of feet above your body. So you get a lovely sort of viewpoint down on your body. So how do you want to work this? Do you want your body to sit down in the chair in front of you? Sit on the ground in front of you? However your visualization works. Imagine your, let's say, higher self as your healer. So you take this position of the higher self and you allow your body to be in front of you, to be the healee, the person who's going to get the energy. So now we have this lovely image of you standing back from your body, viewing your body as it sits in front of you. Just allow the chi to flow from your hands through the body. Perhaps you want to try and scan through the body. Scan through the head, neck and shoulders, arms. Scan through the chest, down to the hips. Scan through the knees, down into the feet. And just see if there's anything there that needs to be worked with. So now you imagine yourself as this great healer standing behind your body, sitting behind your body, whichever image you're using. Use the chi from the universe to flow energy into your body. Allow the chi of the universe to flow deep inside. What we're tending to do is to create a bit of space inside the body. Open up the body for a little bit of healing. It tends to be that the body is blocked, tensed, closed, and the chi doesn't flow. So now we can open, make space, relax the whole body, and just allow the body to do its own healing. So send chi wherever's required in your body, but also be aware that you're making space inside the body, that you're opening up the body. Be your own healer. So when we stand back and allow this healing process to take place, we're moving ourselves one step back from the physicality. We're using a sort of simple mind construct to bring ourselves into this. I don't want to use the word spiritual, but this different space. where we're now energy, where we're now just chi beings guiding our consciousness. So stand back in this field of consciousness and just allow this healing to take place. What happens if you rest back from this whole procedure, just allowing this chi being, this consciousness being, to send energy into the physical body? And then you just stand back and watch that process of the healer and the healing taking place. So what or who do you become when you step back in this way? When you move yourself from the 3D game that we play, when you move yourself out of the old world and take up this new world position, it's possible for you to understand there are these vast flows of chi that moves around the world. When consciousness is applied, things start to occur. People start to occur. Events start to occur. Happenings occur. The world occurs. The world is chi in action. The world is chi being created into matter using consciousness. When we step back into this consciousness mind, you can start to understand that you are truly universal. You are God. You are all there is. Beyond time and beyond space, there is only consciousness, unity, total oneness. Experience the oneness. It's the nature of consciousness to want to experience itself. Therefore, this world of ours is brought about. This universe of ours is created. Perhaps multiverse, who knows? But from the perspective of consciousness, there is no right, there is no wrong. So as we move our way back, view our little healing scene, This body that may feel uncomfortable, broken, bits that don't work, jagged bits of life that stick out at the edges, things that don't seem to flow. They're all just events. They're not you. So this is one of the core ideas. Sometimes we wake in the middle of the night feeling terrified. Sometimes we wake in the middle of the night just worried about something. How can you be asleep and then suddenly you wake up and, oh, something's churning through your head? How did that get there? It's in these quiet moments that we can bring ourselves into our practice space, that we can understand that those occurrences are not truly you. This is when we need to be able to use our practice to remember our practice, to understand that those events will occur, that for this physical body it seems complex and difficult. But the reality is that one divide, one step back, that all of these events, including yourself, are just that, events, and that consciousness is guiding all of this. So if you don't like the events, move yourself to your conscious space and allow healing to take place. As consciousness, you can change anything. Allow that consciousness to change everything in the life. If you are truly the vastness of the universe, if you are truly the creator in this form, then surely you can change anything. So now, as we move back into the position of the healer, looking down upon our bodies, what needs changing in this body's life? What is it that we're going to fix here? Allow the chi to flow. Allow the energy to open. Allow the energy to bring whatever's needed into this life. Allow the energy to flow. Become your healer. So as we see ourselves as the perfect healer for our bodies, we can just gently move, gently flowing our hands open and closed, gently allowing the energy to move, just feeling that as the healer of our bodies, we can create this incredible energy. We can create everything that's needed in this life. Slowly but surely, allow yourself to move back into the body as well. You can take a step forward perhaps and become your body again. You can feel this physical body like putting on a suit. Step in and embody yourself once more. Feel the chi throughout your whole of your body. Feel the healing that has taken place in your body. Perhaps you want to actually feel your body all the way around. Perhaps you want to feel into various areas of the body to see how this healing has taken place. Just allow the chi to flow through your body. Gently massage the body, gently move the hands over the surface of the body. There is no right, there is no wrong. Whatever feels right for you, just do it. Allow your body to stretch and move in any way that it fancies. This is making your own Qigong. That's how all Qigong began thousands of years ago. Humans just discovered how to move and what they wanted to do. And then we can gently bring the body to a stop and allow the hands to come back onto the belly. Just draw the hands on the belly for a moment and keep the mind deep in lower dantian. Lower dantian qi abundant, blood and qi flowing well. So let's just bring our feet together back into the Sheneng Qigong standing stance. Knees bent, back straight. And then bring the hands gently up into the prayer position in front of the heart. So we're going to finish from here by bringing the hands slowly up in front of the face, up over the crown of the head, extend up into the blue sky, let the spine open. Hands will drift down a little bit, knees soften a little bit, open up little fingers, ring fingers, middle fingers, split the hands apart, down into great wide arm. Shoulder height, scooping chi, draw the chi round, bring it round and send it deep inside the brain. Upper dantian qi is abundant. Blood and qi flow well through the body. All functions of the body, perfect working order. And then drawing the elbows back, let the hands come underneath the arms. We lightly touch Da Bao. Send qi from Da Bao deep inside middle dantian. Feel the organs inside, filled with qi. Let's drift the elbows backwards, release the hands forwards. No, we're going the other way, sorry. Drift the hands backwards, back of the hands forwards, turn the palms, send a wave of qi out into the blue sky, gently draw qi back for lower dantian. Land the hands on lower dantian, hold the qi deep inside, and absorb all this fantastic energy into our physical selves. Just remember what we've done here today. When you find yourself in moments of distress, worry, stress, step back, send healing qi. Realize that it's nothing personal. It's just the universe doing what the universe is doing. You can always rest back in your consciousness, relax your mind, and feel free and safe. Let's draw some little circles around the belly. 3 circles around. Go back in the opposite direction. 3 the other way. We just hold this qi deep inside. Lower dantian qi is abundant. Blood and qi flow well. Abundance of energy deep inside. Your body healing. Your body strong. Your body filled with qi. Your mind clear and calm and settled. As you stand here, imagine your Wei Qi layer, protective shield around your skin. Bigger than that, Qi body. Meter in front, meter behind, left, right, up, down. You inside this wonderful field of energy, safe, happy, every cell in your body working well, an abundance of energy. All functions of your body returning to perfect working order. All functions of your body normal. All functions normal. Big smile on your face. Keep that smile there today. Just release our hands, release fingers and toes, gently move and stretch. Oh, and then I think we need to say Hao La together. So if you'd like to unmute yourselves, we'll all say Hao La. So, hands up in the air. 1, 2. Ha la. 1, 2. Ha la. Last time. 1, 2. Ha la. Oh, lovely. And very nice to see you all here today. And I shall post this up online. Have a lovely, beautiful day.
Thank you,
Oh,
Jeremy. Very
keep smiling.
very powerful. Excellent.
Thank you. Bye.